to the other second leg of the fixture. So the fixtures might look the same, and the teams will be playing the same teams again. But the results are not very exciting, especially for one team called Mahia. They were beaten 3-0 by Posta Rangers.
It reminds me of 2011, opening game of the season. Posta Rangers, newly promoted, played Gor, and then 1-0. Kevin Ocheng scored, 2 Pascal scored, then Nyaga scored the third goal.
Now,
and Kogalo fans said,
yes.
No, we can take Ocheng and the 2 Ocheng scoring, but Nyaga, and that game didn't end well.
You know, I was going to tell you that things were okay because the scorers here were Otieno K,
yes,
Onyango C, and Otieno K again. There was no Nyaga.
That's okay.
If there was Nyaga in there, you know. Sirkal does not take any scores coming from anybody else but from this one. But surely everybody's saying that this is a very pale shadow of Gor Mahia that is not. We had 3 draws and 3 wins in these fixtures. And still I'm not understanding why we have so many draws in the last 10 matches that have been played in the Premier League.
This seems to be an ongoing trend, Bernard. Even the last matches, which was now the last to finish the first half, and then now the matches played last weekend and yesterday to start off the second leg. Even the teams that had drawn 4-4 just came back again and drew 1-1.
Which just gets you 1 point, but the goals will count here as well.
There's I don't know.
There's also the fact that Kogalo are going through a transition. Remember, from the days of Medi to Olunga to Isenga, they're going through a transition where they're trying to sort of find a new team.
But you never transition to bad results.
New coach. Yeah, but you've got problems. You are trying to get a new coach. The players not as experienced, not as great as they were before. There's talent, maybe just not as experienced. And remember, the one thing that's biting our community clubs, the lack of funds doesn't help.
Lack of funds, and that means a lot of players are also exiting, and important players. On the other hand, AFC Leopards is actually gaining because John Makwata has rejoined the club, and Leopards are also pursuing Cliff Nyakea, now, formerly of Wazito. So this might just augur well for them because, again, the Leopards beat Mathare by 2-1. But we'll see what happens to the community clubs as we go on. Now, the caretaker committee, I think it's got about 3 months to go. Oh, we forgot to say Alex Alumira has been given a contract for just 3 months. That's the duration of the caretaker committee.
The duration of the committee.
The caretaker committee has asked all football clubs, associations, referees, literally all stakeholders in football to be compliant with the Sports Act. Now, what does that mean? And it has to be done by the 24th of February. What does the Sports Act stipulate?
So one of the most, I don't know whether to call it iconic, but one of the restrictions or the implications that's really going to hurt a lot of our sports bodies or that need implementation is that in each sport must have only one body. For example, in golf, we have the Kenya Golf Union, which primarily deals in men, Kenya Ladies Golf Union that deals with ladies. Now, those two must have a common front, one body, the body that will deal with the government.
Okay.
Which is now Kenya Golf Federation, but empowered.
Just one vote, body. Because they didn't even vote at the National Olympic Committee elections, because they didn't have a vote there.
Yes,
James, you have something to say on that?
Well, basically, the thing is this. What the caretaker committee is saying is that, listen, everyone must register with the sports registrar. That is what the law of the land says. So all our clubs, which are primarily societies, have got to register with it to be allowed to take part. Remember, one of the key mandates given to this caretaker committee is to do what? Make sure you organize elections. So for you to organize elections, you've got to have people who have qualified or who have met the threshold to participate in the elections. So the clubs have got to do that even as you go towards the elections. Because remember, the caretaker committee...
For you to have elections, you must have a constitution. That constitution must be registered by the registrar of sports. Excuse me. Now, I think the other thing is that you must file returns. You must file audited returns by a recognized audited company to file returns on your money. You must have NHIF, NSSF for your players and all that. You must also have a tax compliance certificate. If you want to contest as an elected leader of an association, you must have a tax compliance certificate. You must have a certificate of good conduct, just the same as everybody else when you want to go for any office, And I think those are the things that I think the Sports Act wants to clean up the sports associations. It covers referees, it covers the county associations, the football associations, anybody who is involved in football. Is that a good thing? Can it be done within the days that have been given up to the 24th?
Yes, Bernard, you see, this is not a mandate of FKF. This is law. So, and law has a time limit, has a time span. So if by this date you're supposed to comply, you simply have to comply. Otherwise, you can forget about negotiating.
But we're looking at whether it is actually possible, because you need elected officials. You need a list of elected officials. You need a constitution registered as well. And then you need all your officials to get all these documents. The question is on time, not the law. You know, even voter registration can be extended.
Today I've seen Kenya Hockey Union. Kenya Hockey Union have announced elections for April. So that means people are making an effort. In golf, I know they're having elections in February. So I believe the bodies are trying to comply.
Okay, let's move on. I'm being told that we are spending a little more time on these things. We need to move on. Koth Biro has gotten to the quarterfinal stage as well. Actually, it's gotten to the final stage. We are getting to the finals. Now, there was the semi-finals between Leeds United. Now, this is not the one in the EPL, but Leeds United of Majengo that was going to play Mlango United. And then there was Borussia, not the one from Germany, but Borussia from Kangemi, that was going to play, that beat Team Dandora, and they were going to play Mlango. Or no, they were going to play Wenyeji. And they did play Wenyeji. So Wenyeji Youth versus Borussia, those are the results. 1-2 in favor of Borussia. That means Borussia is going into the finals. Leeds United beating Mlango. And that means that Leeds United is going into the finals. Now here are the other results. Which one stands out for you, James?
Well, I like the Mlango United versus 1000 Sportive. Sportive is
just because of the names.
Yeah, and
I'm
thinking Mlango is from Mlango Kubwa.
It is from Mlango Kubwa.
So that feels, and of course Ruaraka would be from Ruaraka.
Yes.
Madara combined versus Dandora, that's a derby of sorts.
That is a derby. That was a derby. That's why it ended into penalties, as you can see there.
And and that's the bedrock of Kenyan football. I mean, when you say Madara United, you think Dandora, you think Huruma, and you just feel the kind of
there's very good talent that comes from there.
Exactly.
Okay, so finals is going to be Borussia versus Mlango. It was supposed to be this weekend, but versus Leeds. It was supposed to be this weekend, but now it's going to be played next weekend. And I'm sure we'll catch up on what's going on there. Right. Well, that's it on the Koth Biro as well. Let's take a little break, and when we come back, we'll tell you about these women who are registering first, especially in the world of tennis, and a little more on what's going on, especially in golf and in the World Rally Championships.